Find other great podcasts like this one at Podmoth.network.
Do you have a hunger for cinematic horror?
Do you enjoy the thrill from seeing boogeymen, beasts, and butchers go about their dark work?
Then all you need to do is speak of the devil, and the devil will come to you.
Speak of the Devil is a podcast for all movies that have anything from demons and poltergeists to serial killers and the supernatural.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Taylor.
Join us as we embark on a journey through the dark recesses of horror films, from the classics to blockbusters and everything in between.
New episodes come out every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're not scared of anything.
Are you?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Hayley.
And we are Saturdays Are for the Ghouls,
a Podmoth podcast.
How are you, Hayley?
I'm doing all right, Kathryn. How are you?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm okay. What's wrong?
I just have a headache.
Oh. Yeah, you should take something for that.
I know.
You're not a medicine girly, though.
No. If I don't have to take it, I won't, but I do got that Excedrin on hand, though.
Yeah. Well, it also helps to, stay hydrated. Have you been drinking water?
I have drank nothing but water today.
That's good. Well, week is it this week, Hayley? Oh, yeah. I already answered. I answered, really shortly. I'm okay. I know you asked me. But what week is it, Hayley?
Crime movie week?
Yeah, it is crime movie week. So the movie that we're going to talk about today is called, if you haven't read the title, it's called The House at the End of the Street from 2012. I'm going to, again, I know we say this every time, but maybe there's someone new. We're going to spoil it for you. Watch the movie if you don't want it to be spoiled.
Right. Don't come for me and Kathryn and be like, y'all bitches ruined the movie for me. You have been warned.
Right. I don't say for every movie, but this one has a pretty large plot twist. So we're going to spoil it for you, just so you know.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. Gung-ho. Shirley, would you like to hear the IMDb plot, or would you like to give me a Hayley synopsis first?
I will do the honors first because mine's going to be probably chaotic and probably not as close to your synopsis.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Stab. Jennifer Lawrence. Mom. New house on the market for a good price. Red flag. Small town assholes. Toxic small town boy that can be fixed.
Maybe.
Boy has secret. Person in basement. That also ties into the stab from earlier. Death. Almost death. Psych ward. Happily ever after.
I think there's one more death in there.
One more death, yes. I forgot about the girl.
Wow, that was beautiful. I think our synopsises are the least amount of words as possible.
Yeah, that's what I should.
All right, so from IMDb, this is what it says, the nice little synopsis quote thing. After moving with her mother to a small town, a teenager, Jennifer Lawrence, finds an accident happened in a house at the end of the street. Things get more complicated when she befriends a boy. A double murder is not an accident. Now, I assumed there was going to be another sentence after befriends a boy, but I guess we'll a little bit in a minute. The boy lives in the house at the end of the street. That was what I was assuming might be. Anyway, our gripping tagline for this movie that would be on all the movie posters and all the trailers, fear reaches out for the girl next door. So this movie was directed by Mark Ponderai, I think is how you say his last name. The screenplay was written by David Luca, and the story is originally by Jonathan Mostow. And I'll tell you a little bit why there's a story by, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. Our important cast members, I only wrote down 5 of them because there's a lot of people kind of in this movie that are a lot of like small little mini characters. For the most part, Jennifer Lawrence plays Alyssa, Max Thieriot plays Ryan, Nolan Gerard Funk as Tyler, Elizabeth Shue as Dr. Sarah Cassidy, or Jennifer Lawrence's mom, or Alyssa's mom, and Bill Bellows as Officer Bill Weaver.
Oh, Bill.
I think you're going to have a change of heart after I talk to you about this movie. Anyway, so Jonathan Mostow originally was going to be the director of this movie, and he began writing the screenplay in 2000 with Richard Kelly. I don't know who that guy is either. But supposedly, yeah, but I don't know if maybe I'm thinking of Grace Kelly or if I'm just thinking of other people that have the same like last name or first name. Anyway, they went through 7 exhausting years of developing the movie. And in the article, it said that the quote, they went through developmental hell for 7 years. And then in 2010, Mark and David, who are the actual writers of the screenplay and the director, took over the movie and finished the story and directed the movie. Okay. I'm not sure if like Jonathan sold it to them and like that's how he's part of like the credits still or how that all worked. But basically after 7 years, they were just like, here, Mark, David, you can have it. We can't figure out how to get it created. So in 2010 is when they started recording or filming. The movie was filmed in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
Okay, of course, Canada.
This was back when you got big tax breaks for filming in Canada. And they filmed between August 2010 to September 2010. Or 2010. I don't know how you say it. Originally, it was set up to be released on February of 2012. Then it was moved to April of 2012. But then it was rescheduled again till September of 2012 because, do you want to know what actually premiered in April?
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. So technically, this movie was filmed before The Hunger Games, was released after The Hunger Games. But it was smart of them, or a good thing, I guess a blessing to them, they probably waited till The Hunger Games was released because Jennifer Lawrence was a bigger name in September than she would have been in February.
That's very true. Because they're like, oh, that girl from The Hunger Games, which is a big box office hit. Yes. And they're like, we should go see it just because she's in it.
Of course. Katniss is in it. We love Katniss. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I feel like that's the same reason why people put like Robert Pattinson in movies after Twilight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying he's not also talented. I'm just saying when you're in it, they want to use you, you know? They being the conglomerate movie people, I don't know anything about this. Anyway, so this movie was nominated for a couple of awards and won a couple awards. In 2012, it was nominated for Directors Guild of Canada for Best Sound Editing in a feature film, which is pretty cool. I'd never even heard of that exact like category. Yeah. And then in 2013, Jennifer Lawrence was nominated for the Favorite Movie Actress for a People's Choice Award, also for Silver Linings Playbook and The Hunger Games. So she was nominated for kind of like all 6 of them because I think 2012 was a big year for her and she won that award. So technically, I guess that award's not for this movie specifically, but for Jennifer Lawrence. And then Jennifer Lawrence was also nominated for Best Scared as Shit Performance at the MTV Movie Awards. She did not win.
Oh.
And Theo Green, who I don't know who that is, but he got awarded and he won a ASC award for a film award for this movie. When I looked at it, I thought, oh, that was Max. That's Max. So when I reread it just now in this instance, and now I don't know who Theo Green is. Let me just look it up really quick.
Theo Green. I don't know why I thought of the guy from Divergent, but I could be completely wrong.
Oh, he was the guy who made the music for the movie.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Theo. That's so good for you.
Wow.
So Theo Green is the only one who actually won an award, and Jennifer Lawrence won an award, kind of, for this movie. Everything else, they were only nominated.
I think Max,
Yeah.
bro, he should have gotten
think-
something.
Yeah, I think he should have gotten something, but maybe he was not. I don't know. Maybe this was like his only role that year.
Oh, sure,
Jennifer
sure.
Lawrence had 3 movies come out like back to back to back like that.
That's true.
And so that's why she got favorite movie actress for the People's Choice Awards. And I bet you that House at the End of the Street played very little into that. Like Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbooks in my like memory were a lot bigger than this movie. More popular to me. I don't know. I don't know if everyone likes Silver Linings Playbooks like I do. I consider it one of my favorite movies though. Like one of my top at least 10 movies. One of its Silver Linings Playbooks. I love that movie. I digress. So in my notes right now, I have discussed movie. So Hayley, what did you like about this one?
Honestly, okay. To be fair, I had the unrated version, so I don't know what's different.
We'll talk about that.
But you did do it. I remember you said you'd look it up you'd tell me if you found it. Okay. All right. So this is very similar to a situation with the movie Orphan, because the only one I'd seen prior to watching it with you was the unrated version.
Mhm.
So when we rewatched it, I felt like there was something missing. So it kind of like dulled it down for me. And I was like, this actually wasn't as good as I remember. So that's kind of how it felt rewatching this movie. But I mean, it's a good twist.
Okay, so here's the thing. I thought it was, and this may not make sense to anyone who's like maybe younger, but if you were a teen or like in your 20s in like 2012 area, like this is a very 2012 movie. Like to me, for some reason, like this was on all of the movie channels, like I don't know. It wasn't per se popular, I would say, but it was like very 2012. You know, I don't know.
No, I get it. Yeah.
So, okay, from my smooth brain noggin, I'm going to try to give you a little bit more meaty synopsis than what you've received from Thieriot and IMDb, because we have a few points that we have to talk about that I wrote down about specifically about the movie. Okay. So in the beginning, a girl named Carrie Ann double murders her parents with a knife in the middle of the night. So then we fast forward to when Jennifer Lawrence and her mom is moving into this house that is right down the road or right next door to the house that Carrie Ann killed her parents. And Hayley, you can stop me anytime if I'm remembering wrong. And then Jennifer Lawrence, okay, her name is Alyssa. Alyssa and her mom go to the, like, I don't know, neighbor's potluck or whatever, and they're all like, that kid over there, he's fucking creepy. He lives in that house where that double murder happened, and he's the son, and he's bringing down all our property values. And Alyssa meets the kid that's a child of one of these people. And so we're starting to feel sad for Ryan, who is the brother of Carrie Ann, son of the parents who got killed. And we're starting to feel bad for him because, I mean, he didn't do anything, right? So, like, why are we making it so bad that he's living in that house?
Right. Like, why are we hating on this poor kid that wasn't even there?
Right. He's like 20 years old. He wasn't even at the house when it happened. Like, he was staying with his aunt or something at that time. And so I think he's 20 or 19. I don't really remember. The ages are kind of muddy for me. I know he's not in high school yet. And Jennifer Lawrence plays a 17-year-old. Okay. So we fast forward. Jennifer Lawrence tries to make friends with this kid from the party that they went to, finds out he's an actual douchebag. She has to like push him off when he's trying to make out with her and ... You know, that kind of guy. So then fast forward and Jennifer Lawrence starts befriending Ryan and she's like feeling sorry for him. And then we find out that Ryan is holding Carrie And we find out that he's basically taking care of her down there, and she's just as wild as she was when she killed her parents. And so he has to give her this medicine and like all of this stuff.
Calm her down and
feed her, but he like locks her in this room in like a sub basement below the basement. The rest of the movie is Jennifer and Ryan coming closer and closer together, spending more time together. Her mom hates that she's spending time with this dude. She thinks that he's no good. She's saying, I don't want you to hang out with him. But then she's like, oh, I didn't mean to be mean. I didn't mean to kick him the fuck out. The mom is very mixed signals.
oh yeah.
I was also confused when she was like, I don't want you to spend any alone time with Alyssa. And Alyssa, I don't want you to spend any alone time with Ryan. He was like, you know what? I'm going to go then. It's like, no, I didn't mean that. Like, I don't know how you thought you came off, Mom. You came off kind of like a bitch. Anyway.
She did.
I digress. Alyssa doesn't know that Carrie Ann stays in the basement. She doesn't know that Carrie Ann stays there. She just thinks that Ryan is trying to do his best. Right? And then real fast forward, she's doing a battle of the bands, and Ryan comes because she invites him, and all of the guys at the school basically jump him because they fucking hate him. And they like smashed all those windows in his car, and they started like catching him and stuff, and then he broke Tyler's leg. Not just broke it, but like grabbed it, twisted it, so like his foot was facing the other direction. That's interesting. And throughout the middle part of the movie, he's lost track of Carrie Ann a couple times. And that's a little bit scary. We're thinking, oh, he's a great brother. Like, he's just trying to do his best, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, he leaves and goes back home. And Alyssa follows him, obviously. And Tyler goes to the hospital. So at the hospital, the mom's like, why don't you fucking arrest that kid for breaking Tyler's foot? And the cop is like, you know what? If Tyler had any fucking thing to do with this thing, I'm going to start arresting him instead of Ryan. And she's like, you always defend him. All that kind of stuff. And so the cop also goes to Ryan's. But not before Alyssa has just waltzed into his house and started looking around. Alyssa has no preservation of life in this movie.
Nope.
She does not give a shit about herself, apparently. She will just waltz into someone's house and walk into any room she wants and be like, tell me about this room of pain for you. And why would you do that? Anyway, so Alyssa's going around and she's found the basement, right? And she realizes that there's a girl, i.e., Carrie Ann, in the basement. And she's like, oh, fuck. Maybe Ryan's not all he's chopped up to be. But then it's kind of a little too late once she finds it out. She gets stuck in the basement with Carrie Ann here. And he comes in and he's like, telling her about how he needs to have Carrie Ann and all this stuff. And she finds out that this is not really Carrie Ann. And there's always a filter of girls that come in and are Carrie Ann in this room. And that's like a very short way of putting it. But anyway, he's like, you're going to be my Carrie Ann now. But anyway, he leaves because the cop is here. She has to go tell the cop, like, hey, nothing's wrong. It's fine. No one's here. Alyssa's not here. Oh, so anyway, fast forward, the cop finds out that her phone is there because he calls and her phone rings. And so he comes in, and the cop does not live much longer after that because Ryan kills him. So we're at this point. Alyssa's trying to get out. Ryan's trying to keep her. And then the mom comes and tries to do a whole like Taken on this bitch, like the movie Taken. And so basically with the help of her mom, and they both get out alive, and Ryan goes to a psych ward for the rest of his life, I guess. I don't know. Big twist here. I'll tell you that in a second. At one point when Alyssa and Ryan are becoming buds or friends, Ryan shows her this tree. And he's like, what do you see when you look at this tree? And she's like, nothing. Me and Hayley also said fucking nothing. But then she takes a second look and she's like, well, I guess I see a face. But me and Hayley still didn't see anything, right? Did you ever see a face when you looked at this?
No.
So me neither. But anyway, when she sees the tree has a face on it, he's like, see, this is what happens. People don't take a second look. And that really helps her feel like, oh, Ryan's just overlooked and no one takes a second look at him. And that was like the the big thing. But in reality, it was more so if someone had talked to Ryan about his past traumas that had happened with him and his family, that maybe they would have saved a lot of people's lives. It's supposedly in this article that I read, like an overarching theme or something in the movie that like the tree resembles Ryan, and that's why there was this like big thing about the tree. I think the whole thing could have been cut out.
Yeah, she's just like crying at the tree, and I'm like, okay.
At the end, she's like, "Mom, do you see anything on the tree?" And she's like, "No." Anyway, so during the big reveal that Ryan keeps Carrie Ann's downstairs and all this stuff, we find out that Carrie Ann didn't kill her parents. Ryan and Carrie Ann were swinging on swing sets, and there was an accident, and she died. And then Ryan is the one who killed his parents after suffering a lot of like abuse and stuff because they blamed him for Carrie Ann's death. And this leads to the final revelation that the Carrie Anns in the basements were just kidnapped women from small towns. And so the plot that's like the biggest plot twist is that it was actually him who killed his parents, and that after Carrie Ann died, he had to live out his days until his parents died as Carrie Ann.
Yeah, the parents basically made him dress up like a girl, and they called him Carrie Ann.
To be fair, I don't think it was very well explained in the movie. And then in the end, he goes to a mental facility, and he has this flashback where his mother's calling him Carrie Ann, and that's the only scene that shows that he was made to be Carrie Ann. I don't know if the plot twists were twisty enough for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it coming.
I guess I didn't see it coming either, per se. But a lot of people really, 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 really want a prequel for Ryan's story. And in my opinion, I don't think that's necessary at all. So as Hayley discussed, she watched the unrated version. And I'm pretty sure that I also had seen the unrated version. There's a whole part or a whole piece of the plot twist that's from the PG-13 version. And this is the only difference, was that Officer Bill Weaver was deeply connected to the situation with Carrie Ann and Ryan. So, like, he was protecting Ryan, and potentially he even knew about Carrie Ann's death and all of that stuff, and all of the stuff that happened between him and his parents, and the fact that he was kidnapping girls.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember that part.
Because when Bill was going to the what's it called? Going to his house, I was thinking, oh, probably Bill's in on it this whole time. And the officer does say when he's stabbed by Ryan, he says, "I've protected you for all these years," which alludes to that plot twist. And also when we're in the hospital with Tyler's parents and the officer, Tyler's mom's like, "You're always defending that boy." That, again, it was never fully committed to in the PG-13. But that was literally the only thing that was changed in the unrated version. Apparently, Bill Weaver was a lot more involved in, like, the stuff Ryan was doing and protecting him. So...
How dare you, cop guy?
How dare you be crooked like every other cop? We thought we liked you.
And then during the movie, you were like, wow. The only, like...
I said
crooked or something like that.
I know. I was legitimately surprised that he wasn't part of it.
Yeah.
So that's all I have specifically about like the plot twists and plot. Did you have anything else to add or anything I didn't cover?
No, I think you covered it pretty well.
Did you say you liked the plot twist, or you said that it was not as hard this time? Like hard hitting?
Yeah, it wasn't as hard hitting because I did remember the plot twist, but when I did watch this movie for the first time,
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Should we chop it up to the fact that we were young and impressionable?
Oh,
Maybe.
probably, yeah. For sure.
Jennifer Lawrence is like right at your age. Like it was, and you love Max.
Oh yeah. If y'all don't know, so Max Thieriot, he was in the live action Peter Pan. He was in Catch That Kid. Like he was the heartthrob of all the like kid movies that I watched growing up. I know, like Max Thieriot was like more in my brain. He was more my age,
Right.
but and then as I grew up, he's also in Bates Motel. He plays Norman Bates' brother, and I was in love with that man. His blue eyes. Oh my God, he's so cute,
And he's a Scorpio.
and he's a Scorpio.
I mean, I don't know how well that bodes for another Scorpio, like a Scorpio man and a Scorpio woman, but
Considering the Scorpio woman has experienced that situation, it's not good.
interesting. Well, and you always have had a soft spot for, oh my gosh, I can fix him. And Ryan, the character, is the epitome of, oh my gosh, I can fix him.
And you could have definitely written this movie because you were like, because Alyssa, Jennifer Lawrence's character, is like she plays the guitar and she sings, and you were like, oh, this guy's gonna come up and be like, you're not like other girls, and then that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I do have a couple fun facts.
Ooh.
Especially speaking of the fact that Alyssa's a singer and a guitar player in the movie. My first fun fact is that Jennifer Lawrence does not sing in this movie at all. None of her singing was actually her. It was a session musician named Sarah Rain. And in the article I read about it, they said that Jennifer Lawrence did record a song of her own and that they described it as not bad.
But not what they're looking for.
I guess so. And then also, I only have two fun facts. But as you said, Ryan played in Bates Motel. Who did he play in Bates Motel?
I don't know his name, but he played Norman Bates' brother.
Norman Bates' brother. That's fine. That's enough. So the final shot of Ryan in this movie is very reminiscent of the movie Psycho from which in the future Max played Norman Bates' brother in the Bates Motel, which is based on Psycho. It's like a whole circle. I even rewatched the last scene of Psycho, and it was reminiscent of the last scene in this movie. For just a few seconds, talk about some cash money if you'd like. Do you want to know how much it cost to make this movie? Or do you want to guess? Let me know.
Tell me how much it costs.
Okay. So the first place that I saw the cost, it said it cost from between $6.9 million to $10 million to make this movie.
Okay.
And then the other place that I saw, it confirmed that it was $10 million. So I'm just going to say it cost $10 million to make the movie.
It's actually pretty, low.
Considering some movies, it's definitely low. But do you think it made its money back in the opening weekend? Do you think it made its money back?
I want to say just because of Jennifer Lawrence and the whole Hunger Games thing that yes.
You're correct.
Okay.
So what do you want to guess?
Tell me and then I'll guess.
So you want me to tell you opening weekend and you're going to guess worldwide?
Yes.
Opening weekend, it made $12 million.
Okay.
So just made its money back and then some. So tell me what you think it made worldwide.
12. I'm thinking 18 to 20. Oh, more. Okay.
Way more. A little less. You want me to tell you or do you want one more guess?
Go ahead.
Okay. It made $44 million worldwide.
Oh, my next guess is 45.
Yeah, you would have been real close. And I know that you love to talk about ratings. So I got a little girthy rating section for you. Before I give you our Tomato Boys, our IMDb, everything, what did you rate this movie?
Okay, so probably younger. I would have definitely rated it higher, like an 8.
Okay.
Now I'll say like a 6.7.
6.7. Okay, that's very specific. Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's good. And you know what? You're saying it with your heart and you're being honest. That's great.
Aw, thank you.
I think that I would have also back in 2012, I would have rated it like a good 8, 9, a solid a good movie. And now, seeing all of the movies I've seen, even just on the podcast, let alone in other realms, I probably would rate it like a 5, which is
That's
not
fair.
far from you, but just comparing it to every other movie that I've ever seen. But I also feel bad. So I'm one of those people that kind of feels bad when I rate books like lower than the 3 out of 5. And so I kind of feel bad rating it a 5 out of 10. But I digress. I'm going to save Tomato Boys for the end. But IMDb gave us a 5.5 rating
Ooh.
out of 10. Metacritic gave us a 3.1 out of 10. But our average Google users, 79% liked the movie. And that's just that they liked it or they didn't, I guess. Because the average Google rating itself was 3.2 out of 5. But that is better than the 3.1 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
It's probably more like 6.4. So kind of close to you. What the average Google rating, 6.4 out of 10. Our tried and true Tomato Boys gave it a 12%.
Oh my god.
Our Tomato Boys did not like this movie at all. Somewhere I did see that Tomato Boys gave it a 13, but somewhere else it said 12.
Damn, bro.
And our critics' consensus quote from the Tomato Boys was that it was poorly conceived, clumsily executed, and almost completely bereft of scares. House at the End of the Street strands its talented star in a film as bland as its title. If I made a movie, okay, R4, not everyone's gonna like your shit, but like I would sob for months.
I'd be like, I'm never making a movie again.
And then I just had to get a quote from the New York Times because they wrote an review about it, which I don't always see a New York Times review about the movies that we watch. They did review this movie. And it says, once the action kicks in, House at the End of the Street turns into a choppily edited, poorly timed mess with little continuity, overloaded with auroral shocks, and in a desperate attempt to compensate for its minimal suspense.
Damn.
Which is worse than the Tomato Boys consensus.
You have to go that hard.
Like punch after punch.
Boring title.
Yeah. These poor guys, Mark, David, and Jonathan, I just can't. I'm so sorry. I didn't think it was that bad.
I know. I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay, so in hindsight, if you take the Tomato Boys rating of a 12%, that's a 1.2 out of 10. It's not a 1.2 out of 10 movie.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I mean, Death Tunnel is a worse movie than this movie. Like, you know what I mean? And it got higher ratings, I think.
Stupid.
Just means you can't always trust the ratings. So just because you see a movie that might be interesting to you, that has potentially some lower ratings, still give it a try because you might like it. Hayley almost gave it a 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, 6.7 is almost a 7. So don't let the Tomato Boys have too much control of your heart. I mean, they have literally all of our hearts, but that's just because we call them Tomato Boys. They have no idea who we are.
No idea.
Absolutely no idea. Like I said, our ratings was the last thing I had, so that's all I got for the movie. Do you have anything to add about the movie? That Jennifer Lawrence? Do you have any one last thing to like help people watch the movie if they want to still watch?
Okay. I mean, I agree with Kathryn. Don't always take reviews to heart. I've learned that. Like, example, recently, me and my friends went to go see the new Haunted Mansion movie, right? It's still in theaters, and it's a 2-hour movie, which was kind of a turnoff, but It's so good though. I genuinely like the movie. I'm probably gonna buy it because I really like the movie. And I also am a big fan of the Eddie Murphy version. So it's definitely like a comfort movie for me, which probably says a lot about myself. But no, I love that movie. And then this movie was just as good to me. It doesn't have anything to do with it's not like a sequel or anything, but it's its own standalone movie and it was really good. And I cried 3 times during the movie. So today I saw an article and it's only made $85 million and it cost 150 to make it.
Yikes. I mean, it did get released around the same time as the big movies that people have been wanting to watch. That
Yeah,
probably did not help
I
it.
think they should have waited for Halloween.
Yes, that would have been a better time. Sometimes you get lucky with your release date and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Even if they had
But
just waited till September, because September's like the beginning of fall, which
yeah.
can help people get into spooky mood or whatever. But the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer took over this month and last month. I
Oh
don't even
yeah.
remember. I don't even remember when it came out, but it's like the only thing anyone ever talks about.
July 21st.
Right. It's been a whole month. That's the only movie I've ever heard anyone talk about. I've heard a couple people have gone to Haunted Mansion.
I honestly forgot that it was even out until I was looking through what movies to go see, and nobody wanted to go see Talk to Me or The Meg 2. So, and we'd already seen Barbie. I didn't think Barbie was that great. I mean, it's cute. It's a good movie, but I feel like it's overhyped as fuck, man. Like, yeah, but that's the example of don't trust reviews. Like, go in with your own opinion. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you do.
Yeah.
And this movie, it's not the best, but it is a good, like, again, sleepover movie. It's
a great sleepover movie. Yeah.
It's got a good fucking twist. Like, the way that it's played out, you don't see it coming. Like, you genuinely think that that is his sister.
Yeah.
Because
Up until like the last, like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes maybe. You don't realize that you find out at the same time that Jennifer Lawrence's character finds out. You're trying to put together all these pieces that she's putting together, essentially.
Exactly.
Just be your own self and don't let reviews cause too much trouble. Unless it's like trigger reviews, like letting you know that this is maybe triggering to you. That's something you should definitely listen to. But just like it was stupid and boring, like, I'm sorry. I think that movie critics are sometimes pretentious.
Oh, yeah.
No offense to our tomato boys. There are plenty of movies that are probably not rated very highly that are great movies to watch, even if it's just to like, have a little fun. Because I never look at ratings except for this podcast. That's my what's my toxic trait is I don't even read synopsises for the most part. If it looks good, I'll watch it. If it looks good, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Got it.
When I look at books, I look at the cover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the artwork, partially the name if it's cool, and then I'll like flip through the book, and if the words are too small, I won't read it.
Yeah. I don't get that with the Kindle because I can make the words any size I want, but I do that with physical books for sure. I'll even do like a good like flip to the back. My smooth brain is doing no fucking reading when I flip it to the back. I pick up the book, I look at the front, and I'm like, give it a good flip, look at the back like I'm reading, not reading. Not reading anything on that back. I look back at the front, do a good little flip through, and then I put it in my bag.
And that's a good way to do it.
But anyway, do you have anything to tell the spookies before we let them go?
Spooky babes. Don't let people tell you what to like and what not to like. Go ahead and like this movie or dislike this movie.
That's right.
As long as it's your opinion. Preach. As long as it's your opinion, that's all that matters. But yeah, give it a good little watch if you want. It is on, what was it, Hulu?
Max, I think.
It's streaming on Max right now. But yeah, it's a good little movie to watch. It's PG-13. It's not too scary. It's not too bloody. But yeah, just Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Enjoy the things you want to enjoy. And we hope that you enjoyed listening to us banter and talk about movies and how reviewers sometimes suck. Well, we love you. And we'll see you next week with True Crime. I'm excited. I love Kathryn's little true crimes that she tells me. I just sit back and relax. I'm like listening to my own podcast.
I want to
Anyway.
surprise you, Hayley, next week.
Okay.
I want you to be like, oh my gosh.
I will bring it. It's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be great. It always is. And yeah. Even though Kathryn doesn't think that I listen to her. But
well, so one time she was like, have you seen this documentary?
And then in my defense, it was called something different. And there's a lot of true crimes that are very similar to each other. So I was like, maybe it's a similar situation. And it was told differently.
Because I was trying to plot twist you.
So
anyway.
I was like, oh.
It's okay. It's okay. I know you listen. Do you know why I know you listen? Is sometimes after we get off the phone to record, I'd hear you when you pick up your boyfriend. I do like a boyfriend debrief of the true crime sometimes.
I like, do that.
She really listens to me. I'm just sitting there listening to her tell him what I just told her. Like, bro, it's crazy. It's like a comprehension test. I'm not like, tell your boyfriend what happened. I'm just like sitting there hanging out, vibing. I'm reading a book while she's driving to go pick him up or something. And then, it just happened.
I know. I'm like, babe, you're never going to guess what. Like, listen how crazy this is.
That's when I know it's a good one.
Yeah. And he's like, wow, that's crazy.
But anyway, spooky babes, if you like our podcast, please rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. It would be very helpful to us. And I always like seeing your guys' little notes and stuff or comments. And you can always follow us on Instagram. That's our most used platform. We also have Facebook and Twitter. You're wonderful and you look darn good today.
Don't ask us how we know that.
We just know. We're magic. And you matter. The world is a better place with you in it. And we love you. And we'll see you next week. And we will see you
in your nightmares.